Today we're going to add decimals with charts and models. Use a chart to show 2/10 plus 6/10. So today we're just going to draw little discs to represent these values. So here's my 2/10, 1, 2. Here's my 6/10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many tenths do I have altogether? Well, altogether I have 8 tenths. Why is that so easy for us? Well, it's easy for us because they are all the same units. We're using tenths for both. Let's continue on. Use the chart to show 2 ones, 1, 2, 3 thousandths, 1, 2, 3, plus 6 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1,000. Well, how many thousandths do I have? I have 4 thousandths, and I have 8 ones. Keep it going. Add using the chart below. So now we need to look at these values and see what we have here. 1 and 2/10. So I have 1 value, and I have 2/10 values. Plus 2 and 4200. So I have 2 ones, 4 tenths, and 2 hundredths. So how many hundredths do I have? I have 2 hundredths. I have 6 tenths. And I have 3 ones. What would that look like if I put that back as a decimal? That would be 3 and 62 hundredths. 3 and 62 hundredths. Let's continue on to these models. If the large square represents one whole when completely shaded, what problem is represented here? Well, what do these tiny little squares represent? Those tiny squares represent hundredths. There are 100 of these to make one whole. So here I have a whole tenth filled in, and then I have 3 hundredths. So this value is 13 hundredths. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hundredths. What would I get if I added them together? Well, I could simply just keep counting. If I have 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 hundredths. 19 hundredths. Add using the chart below. So again, I have 4 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8 tenths, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here I have 2 ones, 1, 2, 4 tenths, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 100. It looks to me like we need to regroup. Why would we need to regroup? I can't have more than 10 in one place value. I can't have 10 or more in one place value. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to regroup that. 10 tenths is equal to 1 whole. So then I can cross all of that out. And I'm left with how many ones? I'm left with, well, how many hundredths? 100. I'm left with 2 tenths, and I'm left with 7 ones. So I have 7 and 21 hundredths. 7 and 21 hundredths. So the thing to remember here is if I have 10 or more, I need to regroup that 10 to the next place value. Let's go ahead and look at our problem set. Notice here, solve and then write the sum in standard form. Use a place value chart if necessary. 1/10 plus 2/10 equals 3/10. 14/10 plus 19/10 equals 23/10, but that can be regrouped. 20 of those tenths makes 2 ones, and then we're left with 3/10 left over. 1/100th plus 2/100ths gives me 3/100ths, 0.03. 27/100ths plus 5/100ths gives me 32/100ths. Well, 32/100ths is the same as 3/10ths and 2/100ths. Looks like that. 1,000th plus 2,000ths gives me 3,000ths. 35,000ths plus 8,000ths gives me 43,000ths, which is the same as 400ths and 3,000ths. 6/10ths plus 3,000ths gives me, it says blank thousands, gives me 63,000ths. Oops, I lied. It might be easier for us to actually write it out, huh? 603,000ths. Because the 6 needs to be in the tenths place. 7 ones, 2/10ths plus 4/10ths gives me 7 1 and 6/10ths, which is the same as 76/10ths. 7 and 6/10ths. Might be easier for you to start here and then go back sometimes, huh? Solve using the standard algorithm. So we're going to go ahead and plug these in. 3/10ths, 1, 2, 3, plus 8/10ths, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus the 200ths there. So I'm going to be left with 6. These are going to be regrouped. So I have 1 and 1/1200ths. 1/1200ths. Here's my 1 whole, here's my 300ths, here's my 800ths, and this has to be regrouped also. So we have that 8 plus these 2, which gives me 1/10. So I have 1 and 111 hundredths, or I'm sorry, 1 and 11 hundredths. Here we have 7 ones, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 3/10ths. We have 2 ones, 1, 2, and 8/10ths. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, we're going to regroup. These will come over here. I'll get another 1. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have to regroup all of that. Over here, I have 1/10, 0 ones, and 1/10. 57. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tenths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ones, and 3 hundredths. I have 2 ones and 8 tenths. 8 hundredths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So again, I'm going to regroup. This becomes a tenth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're good there. So we have 5 tens, 9 ones, 1/10, and 1/100. If the large square represents 1 whole when completely shaded, what problem is represented here? Well, I have 1, 2, 3 tenths, and I have 8 hundredths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hundredths. So I have 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44 hundredths. 44 hundredths. Here I have 44 hundredths, and I'm adding 3 hundredths, so that's 44, 45, 46, 47 hundredths. So just looking again, the big thing we need to do is add the same place value together and regroup if we need to.